Hello, beautiful people. Mic check, mic check. I know it sounds like I'm in a big empty room because I'm in a big empty room. Yeah, this is the furniture that is in this room. There's nothing else in this room. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. I've been moving. It took 6 days. Yep, I finished yesterday. I am completely exhausted. Yep, yep. Happy birthday, Crystal Gazer, 95. Everybody just take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath. It's Thursday. The planet is still here. And it is wonderful to see you. I've missed you all very, very much. I can honestly say that I felt your absence. I was like, something is missing. It's been y'all. Um, I'd like to say that I would have gotten here sooner, but I don't think so because I lost my desk in the moving process. So I had to get a new desk. Then I had to put that desk together. Then I had to gather all of the, computer components, microphone, light, all the things. So today is the soonest that I am able to be here with you all. But yesterday when I got the desk set up, I put out a video. And shout out to everybody who has already shown it some love. I would definitely appreciate it if you have not seen the video that you take some time to watch it and reflect and share your thoughts and share it and hype it and like it and comment on it and all the things. It's called Renee Good Was a Race Traitor. So check that out when you get a chance. But shout out to everybody who's here. Hit the like button. Share this live. Shout out to all of the members and the subscribers in all of the places. I appreciate you very, very much. And I am very happy to be back here with you all. I don't really have my shit together. Okay. But who does these days? Nobody. Nobody, beloved. Nobody. We're all just doing the best that we can. I mean, honestly, it's a bittersweet situation, It's a bittersweet situation. Yeah. I'm just purely exhausted. Like I have spent days, working until I literally could not move anymore and needed to go lay down. So I'm just exhausted, but I'm so happy to be here with you all. Princey is basically staying in my room. He was under the covers of my bed for a solid 12 hours. He spent 8 hours under the covers in a panic. I had to bring him out several times and just try and get him to breathe normally. Um, so he's spending a lot of time still just up in my room. That's where I created his first home base, put his bathroom in my bathroom, put his food in the hall, and, put all of his, comforts in my room. After this room gets dealt with, he will expand because his area will actually be in other places. But until this room gets dealt with, we're pretty limited on. We've got a kitchen and we've got a bedroom. We really don't have anything else. So yeah, that's really about it. So Oscar is doing just fine. figured it out. Um, I had 2 houses for him, so I moved one over here that he didn't use. But I moved one over here in the process of the move because the patio area was the last thing on the list to do. So he was starting to figure it out like, "Oh, okay," going back and forth. He's been up and in this place a couple times. Uh, but then when I moved his house over, he was like, "Oh, we live here now." So when I wake up in the morning, he's down there, he comes out, gives his big stretches. Um, so he's figured it out and he's doing just fine, and that's great. So, yeah, all good things. All good things in that regard. We're safe, we're housed, we're exhausted, we're stressed out, but we're good. Yeah, we're good. I actually set it up today. Started to play a little something something and realized I didn't necessarily have the temperament for it. Maybe that'll change. I opted to just close my eyes so that I could be in the temperament and have the energy for this. I was like, I'm not gonna get pissed off at a video game before a live stream. Um, but yeah, I set it up today and I'll probably jump on there tonight and mess around with something. Um, so yeah. You know, I was going from a pretty large place that, where you just lug everything that you've had for the past, your whole adult life. And, you've got at least one kid left in the home. He's obviously gone now, to a smaller place. And then the decision to just get rid of a bunch of stuff, which I literally got rid of a truck full, a big truck full of stuff, furniture, and then just stuff. And I cannot imagine, I truly cannot imagine if I would have brought all of that with me. I'm already overwhelmed with the unpacking and the organizing and all of that. I can't imagine if I would have brought all of that stuff with me. So that was a good choice. But yes, I'm exhausted. I really am. I pushed my body to the limit. Well, hello there, beloved. I'm talking about myself right now, okay? I'm talking about myself. And baby, I don't care who you are a fan of, okay? I don't care who you're a fan of. I care about who is an accomplice to the enemy and who uses the culture, mhm, and the power of the rhythm, mhm, to keep people twisted, lost, and confused about what's really going on in this country and in this world. Bless your heart. You know what? That's what I might need. I might need to go kill some motherfuckers. That's what I might need. I might need to go kill some people. Distinctly possible there's some Call of Duty in my future. We'll see. So, a lot has happened in the time that I have been gone, and I haven't even been able to compile this is what done happened on all the things, the dockets, the culture, the politics, the everything. I just really just had to just let it go, focus on the things that I needed to focus on, and say we're gonna pick it up and then we'll clean it up at some point in time, but that time is not today. Okay, that time is not today. I wanted to have a live because I missed you all. And because technically I could do it. And because, yeah, even with everything that is happening in the country today, biscuit head ass niggas like this motherfucker right here have no shame whatsoever and are proudly displaying their colors. So, I thought we would talk about Luda, who's decided to go on the MAGA festival circuit, and then, of course, the fact that civil war has broken out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I did say civil war, and I meant that. I meant that with my whole chest. I'm not being hyperbolic. That's what it is. So, yeah. Oh, baby, he had the whole outfit top to bottom. I had to crop it because it's such a bad, as in blurry photo. It is not a fake photo. It is not a fake photo. It is real. This is you can see more of the original photo. He wore it at some show, and there's more. There's more flag all the way down the pants. It's literally, he's just missing the hat. Why you ain't wearing the hat? I mean, granted, this photo is very old, but you know what I'm saying. All he's got to do is pull this out of the archive warehouse that has all his fits, grab the latest MAGA hat. There's MAGA shoes as well, and he'll be good to go. That's all he needs for his stage outfit. It is a matching set, beloved. Mhm. Mhm. This is his Black people love nothing more than a color coordinated event. This is his color coordinated event. But no, this real. And this is old. This is real and this is old. I really didn't think so. I thought he was getting percentages from all of the Fast and Furious movies at this point. So, I don't have any belief whatsoever that Luda is broke. Luda makes fat residuals off of a bunch of different things. So, I was stunned when I heard the news, as you all have heard the news, that Luda has joined the MAGA festival circuit, with the likes of, I almost said Aiden Ross, Jason Aldean, Kid Rock, and what's his bucket? Nelly. He's from the South. How you feel about spending that money? This is true. This is true. An idiot can still squander it. That's true. I just didn't assume that he was because he don't be out there like that, right? He don't be out there like that. So, oh, he's from Illinois. Okay. He's been doing low level. Yeah, it's just again not on my radar, not somebody that I've, been thinking about. Um until he hit the big time with this news. So from Hip Hop Wired, Nelly and Ludacris get flamed over upcoming MAGA festival set. Not all money is good money. So the concert series is called Rock the Country, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Is that what that outfit says to y'all? Freedom? 250 years of freedom. So yeah, Kid Rock, Jelly Roll, blah, 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 blah. Nelly, Luda. Let's see if I can read the tiny, tiny script on this thing. Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, Blake Shelton, Jelly Roll, Creed, Brooks and Dunn, Riley Green, Miranda Lambert, Hank Williams Jr., Ella Langley, Shinedown, Leonard Skinner, John Party, Brantley Gilbert, Treaty Oak Revival, Gavin Adcock, Ludacris, Nelly. I didn't know who the I don't know. I don't have the foggiest fucking idea. And then there's a bunch of the names just get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But let's go back to who do I recognize? Who do I not recognize? Kid Rock. Yeah, Jason Aldean, Blake Shelton, Jelly Roll. Okay, Creed. Okay, Brooks and Dunn. Yeah, Riley Green. No. Miranda Lambert. Yes. Hank Williams Jr. Yes. Ella Langley. No. Shinedown. No. Leonard Skinner. Yes. John Party. I think so. Brantley Gilbert. No. Treaty Oak Revival. No. Gavin Adcock. No. Luda Nelly. Yes. Aaron Lewis and the State Liners. No. Ashley Cook. No. Austin Snell. Sounds familiar. Chase Matthew also sounds familiar. Chris Jansen, no. Diamond Rio, no. Gretchen Wilson, sounds familiar. Ian Munsick, no. Josh Malloy, no. Josh Ross, no. Josh Turner, no. Lakeview, no. Lauren Elena, no. Mackenzie Carpenter, no. Mark Chestnut, really? No. Morgan Wade, no. Parmalee, no. Shenandoah, no. Tanner Ursery, no. The Creekers, no. Marshall Tucker Band, no. Tyler Braden, no. Uncle Cracker, maybe. I feel like I'm at an eye test. No, I can't read those ones. There's a whole nother block in even smaller font. I don't have the foggiest idea who the majority of these people are. Hello, beautiful. D2B2, thank you for the $10 contribution. Talk about some signed checks I know better than. We didn't do a damn thing. Okay? We didn't do anything. Okay? We didn't do that. He ain't on BET, and BET ain't black owned either. We didn't do nothing. Probably, Demetrius says, is one of these women that girl in the ice skating outfit trying to copy Beyonce? Probably. I don't know. Yes, Uncle Cracker. Yes, even more Confederate. They known only at their homes, okay? Hello, Poison Ivy. Lizzo said we would be seeing more artists cross the street. It's almost like we should listen to black women. Yep. It's almost like we should. No, chestnut with 2 T's, because it's creative that way. No, I've heard of that one before. I've heard of Uncle Cracker before. Can't say I know the music, but I've heard of Uncle Cracker before. Hello, beautiful. Kiki says, BET, you mean TPN. Okay, maybe then. I said no because I was thinking, oh, I'm just confusing that with Morgan Wallen, but Morgan Wade did sound semi-familiar, so that might be white. Might be right. White. Freudian slip. I'm sorry. It's Uncle Cracker with a K. Okay, Cracker with a K. Get it right. Disrespectful. So it's going from May to September. Oh God, it's gonna be an obnoxiously long amount of time. Belleville, Texas, Bloomingdale, Georgia, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Ashland, Kentucky, Anderson, South Carolina, sundown towns, Hastings, Michigan, Ogalla, Florida, Hamburg, New York, and those kinds of places. They literally gonna be out in a field with the cows and the hay. And they can have it. They can fucking have it. What's the opposite of the Chitlin circuit? A Klan march? I don't know. Klan march. Oh, let me see. If you know the answer, don't spoil it. Okay. If you know the answer, do not spoil it. Beloved people, I would like for you to guess. I'm assuming that this is in reaction to me covering my face. I would like for you to guess what the ticket prices start at. What do you think ticket prices start at? This will be fun. I see 150, I see 15, I see 5, I see 500, I see 50, I see 2K because the world is stupid now. I see 100. I see 47. That's a great guess. That is a great guess. Kiki, probably cheaper than an amusement park. Oh, for damn sure. Shishi, 1488, 4547, 750, a corn dog, and a Coors. Ew. Ew. 604, like July 4, free dot 99. 3-day pass, I'm guessing 599 per day, 250. 5,000, 1776, 1,000, 25, 1,000 pre-sale, 50 at the start, 5 after the show starts. Oh God, Kiki again with the correction. July 4 would be 704. Thank you, thank you. $15 and a side of coleslaw. Ooh. 106. Claudia, it can't be 1776. 120 a day, $25. 250 is a good guess. 1776 is hilarious. It is hilarious. $2.50. Layaway plans available for all ticket types starting at $2.50 down. Tickets go on sale this Friday. Pre-sale. Pre-sale, okay? Pre-sale. So, you can lay away because they know you ain't got no fucking money. You can lay away at all ticket types. All ticket types. General admission, VIP, packages and lack. You can start your layaway at $2.50 fucking cents. 10 fucking quarters lay away. I know it was your first guess and I skipped it because you were right immediately. You were right immediately. And I needed, I needed to see all the numbers roll in, but you were right immediately. $2.50 layaway starts Friday. I am perfectly dead serious. I am looking at the Rock the Country Instagram. Rock the Country 2026. Sign up now for pre-sale that starts Friday, January 16 at 10 a.m. local. Layaway plans available for all ticket types start at $2.50 down. rockthecountry.com. $2.50. Oh, I guess this is X, not the other one. Of course it's X and not Instagram. What was I even thinking? Good God. Daily throwback happy hour DJ sets. It's being put on by Peachtree Entertainment. That's what I wanted to know. They are a Nashville-based concert promotion and festival production company working with folks like Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen. They did an event previously called Rock the South. And they are the promoter. Over 15 years of experience in the music industry. And they had this last year. As a matter of fact, they had a Rock the Country Music Festival 2025. So apparently this is a repeat thing, and now we all know about it. There are so many fucking people on this bill. Let me get a screenshot real quick. There are so many names on this damn poster. It's ridiculous. And because I'm old, I can't see them all. You see me in this empty ass room with no furniture? Yes, beautiful. I finished moving yesterday. It took 6 days. I'm very tired and I don't have a living room. So that's what's going on over here. I have a rug, but that's about it. I told you, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Ashe, thank you. I appreciate you. Kiki, our ever intrepid, went over to, did you go to the website? Yeah, 250 down. That's what I said. The layaway 250, but it's closer to 150, especially on days where there are well knowns like Kid Rock, Creed, and Leonard Skinner. Okay. Yeah, y'all need to bust out your, look real close. You might be performing at one of these shows. Everybody and their motherfucking mamas on here. Yeah, lineups vary by city. I bet they do. Because I'm not going to something with all of these people performing at the same fucking thing at the same time. There's no way. There is no way. I'm trying to remember the last time I've been to a festival type show. And nothing is coming to mind. Okay. So that borders on 20 plus years to never. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They had to put all these people together to fill shows in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 shows. They had to put all of these people together to cover the lineup for 16 shows, which makes sense. That's a lot of damn people. And only a fraction of them are going to be performing at a given show. And also Snoop he still has a standard for money that neither Luda nor Nelly can request. No, this is not the that's what I thought at first too. That's why it first got my attention because I was like, I know that motherfucker did not, but he did not. This is the Rock the Country Festival Tour, celebrating 250 years of Merc. See what I did there? It starts May 1st and it ends September 12th. And layaway for tickets starts $2.50. You can pre-order starting this Friday. Aren't you excited? Oh, baby, I know upstate New York is the sticks. It might as well be the South. Upstate New York might as well be the South. That's why I said there's some sundown towns. So yeah, obviously, lineup varies by city. Can you even play in this town after dark? I don't think so. Ooh, damn. Kiki says they could have probably got Wayne if they could wake him up. Damn. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, let's chat. Let's remember to lock this away for when we talk about this in the future because you know this thing is going to be a clusterfuck. So we will be talking about it again in the future. Let us remember that on this channel, it is renamed as of this moment. Mock the Country. Gavel. Good job, Evangeline Fuller. Good job. For real. Yeah, buddy. Buffalo is that's the line for me. And I only extend Buffalo grace because I so appreciate their football fandom and their dedication to their team that has put them through such tremendous heartbreak over the past 30 years. I know what that's like. The Seahawks sucked more than they did anything. They broke our hearts more than they did anything. So, yeah, I respect it. I respect their loyalty. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? White boy body funk? It's a no for me, dog. It is a no for me all the way around. White boy body funk has to be the nastiest body funk. I said what I said. Then you get them on some type of synthetic drug and shitty beer. I can smell it. I don't like it. I saw a white woman say, "Feet wash themselves." That's why you motherfuckers wind up with gout all the goddamn time. You don't know nothing about foot care. Feet wash themselves. The fuck is the matter with you? I swear to God. I swear to God is my witness. I swear to God is my witness. I heard a white woman condescending, real mockery like. Feet wash themselves. All of the soap that touches your body washes off down to your feet. Job done. Yeah. Yeah. It's just nasty. It's foot and mouth disease rampant in these here parts. It's just a no for me all the way around. At least a calendar year. At least a calendar year. Abso-fucking-lutely not. No. Out there in the elements, in a fucking cow pasture or whatever, no. I'm not. I mean, a fairground, same fucking thing. I'm not doing it. No. No. In my big old age, no. The closest I will come to some stuff is going to the amphitheater. That's it. No. But the fairgrounds? No. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to the fairgrounds for a concert. If anything, I'm gonna get on social media and tell you that whoever is promoting and booking your tour in my state is fucking you over. You go too far south, too far east in this state, I'm not fucking with you. I hate when somebody will get on, get on the internet and be like, Seattle, I'm coming to see you. I'm performing at the Linwood. Linwood? Linwood? Linwood. Linwood is an hour away from Seattle. That's Proud Boy territory. You're brown. I'm not going to see you in Linwood. I'm not going to see you in Linwood. I might not even go see you in Bellevue, which is half the distance. I might not even go see you in Bellevue. Because what the fuck are you doing in Bellevue? Your people didn't do their research. They're not trying to put you amongst the people. I got to pay for event park? Nah, man. Nah. You better be in Seattle fucking proper. And if you even have the one exception that I will make is Nate's for comedy shows. That is the only exception that I will make. I will travel to Tacoma for a comedy show at Nate's. No problem. But if you are a headliner and you tell me that your concert is at the Tacoma Dome, I'm not going. Fuck that. Fuck Tacoma. Fuck its traffic. Fuck that parking. Fuck that whole structure. Fuck that entire building. I'm not going. No. And I know this is Greek to a lot of you. You're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just imagine the worst venue in your area where you're like, I'm not driving to that. I'm not sitting in that place. Big old drafty, stanky ass place. No, I'm not doing that. What the fuck are you doing now? Do you know who you are? You're performing where? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I skipped Kendrick. He went to the Tacoma Dome. My son too was like, ain't no fucking way. Want to see him desperately. Not going. Beyonce, Tacoma Dome. I was like, bitch, you crazy. I'm not going. There's no way. Now, mind you, they only performed the Tacoma Dome once. And then they were in, stadiums and arenas in Seattle. But I was like, nah, I don't care how badly I want to see whoever. I'm no way. It's not worth all of that. I got to deal with the fucking state patrol and the police between Seattle and Linwood, or between Seattle and Tacoma, Auburn, Tukwila. Nah. Not Lacey. No, I'm not dealing with them fucking cops. I'm not dealing with them fucking cops. No. Nope. Nope. I'm not going to the casino in Tacoma for a show either. No. I mean, depending on where in Yakima, I'd even travel to Yakima, which is in Eastern Washington, for those of you who don't know. I would travel to Yakima for a concert before I would want to go to the Tacoma Dome. And what's messed up is Tacoma it's in the opposite direction of Linwood, the Proud Boy area, right? It's much closer to Seattle. It'll take you longer to get there. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. That's the last thing that I want to deal with. I want to be down at one of the stadiums right over the hill from me here. I want to be able to Uber there and Uber back. I don't want to deal with parking. I don't want to deal with traffic. I don't want to deal with none. I don't want to have to get on the freeway. I want to be able to dip through the town on the back streets back to my house. Nah. Well, yeah, and I'm, in indigenous territory, so all of our names are very interesting here. All of the names here are very interesting and beautiful. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You gotta go through everything. You gotta pass through everything to get from Tacoma to Seattle. It's stupid. I hate it so much. And people here drive like crap. So I've already established I'm a very good driver. So shoot, I was on the road earlier today and was like, I need to go home quickly. I had to run to Goodwill to drop some stuff off. And I was like, boy, get me home and keep me there for the rest of the day. I don't need to go outside. I don't need to go outside. I was like, I think I'm a little bit more stressed and tired than I realized. I was 15 minutes on the road. I was like, I'm about to lose it. Interestingly enough, though, this is a good segue. I saw a fake ICE agent today, a stone's throw away from my house, vehicle and all. I was at a very safe distance. I took video and photos and just said, well, we'll see if that comes up in the news anytime in the near future. But it was clearly somebody who was not a federal employee, okay, who was cosplaying and who had lights on his vehicle, which is illegal. It's illegal to have red and blue flashing lights if you are not in a law enforcement vehicle. This was a private vehicle with the lights. There was no rack. There were no antennas, but there were lights built into the car. And something had happened on the road. I'm not going to say what, because then you would be able to identify where I live. But something had happened on the road not very far from where I live, and it had caused a traffic slowdown. And on this side of the, road, we've got official, DOT related vehicles, 3-lane road. So they're far left. He's no pun. He's in the far right and he flips his lights, but he doesn't do anything. He's just sitting there in traffic because you're not a real law enforcement vehicle. He's got cars in front of him, on the side of him, behind him. He's not trying to help the situation. I'm watching, but as soon as I saw those lights, I reached for my phone. I said, that's not real. That's not real. And I'm looking to see, is he going to assist in this situation? Is he trying to, no, once traffic moved up just a little bit for him to be able to squeeze through, and then he blew through a red light, kept on going with his little fake lights flashing. So I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm not gonna identify myself to local law enforcement by calling 911 and saying, "I've just seen this thing." I'm not gonna do that. I took documentation. If there is an incident and it comes up in the future, well, then there was an incident and it comes up with the future, and I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But yeah, clocked it immediately. Not real. And they're all over the fucking place. They're all over the place. They were right down the street involved in a major incident. A couple blocks away, well, I'd say a couple miles away, they're saying they're gonna start going door to door. You ain't gonna get in my house. It's not smart. Try and come in my house. First of all, I'm not gonna answer the door. I'm not gonna acknowledge you at all. I'm just gonna record you on every single fucking camera. But it's interesting the way the mind works, right? Because when I first walked into this place to tour it, right? I walked in and I thought to myself, "Oh, nobody has the advantage here except me." The entryway is in such a way that they would have no advantage, no advantage whatsoever. It would not behoove them to try and come in this house to get to me, because by the time you're out of the hallway, when you come in, you don't come into an open space. You come into a narrow, dark, one way in, one way out hallway, and you gotta go down a pretty long hallway before you get to the stairs. And then you still can't see shit, but I can see you. I can see you for 2 flights of stairs. I was like, as a woman living alone, not thinking about ICE per se, just psychotic men in general, I like it. I like it. I set the cameras up immediately upon moving in. Oh, yeah, I'm clocking you through the door. I'm clocking you through the side room when you pass it. There's a camera at the end of the hall before you get to the stairs. There's a camera outside, of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the motion detectors are set up again. Yeah. Yeah, you park behind my shit, I'm gonna get a motion alert because I got a camera facing out that way too. Yeah, good luck. Baby, I ain't got to do that. I got Betty. I got Betty. You come up in my place, I assume that you mean me bodily harm, and I'm gonna respond accordingly. You violently come up into my place, you mean me bodily harm. I'm an American citizen, I was born here, I don't have to prove shit to a motherfucker because I know my constitutional rights. So I don't gotta show you papers for shit that you're not coming in my house. That's a fucking crime. At this point, Betty goes everywhere. Yeah, at this point, Betty goes everywhere because they're, within a 6 block radius of me at this point in time. So, and I've got some neighbors who it would not surprise me in the slightest bit. It would not surprise me in the slightest bit. When all of this started, as a matter of fact, there are two homes on my block where I was like, yeah, I could see ICE showing up at their homes. And as I shared with you all, I didn't have to move very far. So technically, even though I'm further away, those people are still my neighbors. Wouldn't actually, there's three now that I think about it. Would not surprise me in the least if ICE shows up at one of those places and goes after those people. So, hey, I've got a card to carry, all the things. So that's my constitutional right too. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, again, I encourage you all, if you haven't already, to check out the scripted video that I put out yesterday. Renee Good was a race traitor. Um, a lot has happened in the past week, and as busy and as exhausted as I have been, I've been doing my best to, keep up with the news. Um, it is breathtaking to me, um, how precarious of a situation we are in, and just how much nobody is doing anything about it. And uh, I realized the other day, mind you, when I say I realized, I've known this for a very long time, but you know how you realize things based on whatever's happening in the world or in your life. We all saw a white woman get murdered by a, you know, member of the federal Klan, which immediately ushered in the complete collapse of federal law and order. Complete collapse. They are withholding evidence. They are weaponizing the Department of Justice to try and criminally investigate her widow. All the things, I don't have to recount them all to you. You know all of the things. It is a breathtaking collapse of federal law and order. They are just straight up lying through their teeth about what happened. They're gaslighting the American people into thinking there isn't a consensus amongst the American people about what we saw. And my realization a couple nights ago was white people just don't fucking get it. I've seen some of the smartest white politicos, you know, completely beside themselves and, saying things like, I can't believe there's not a consensus in this country. There is a fucking consensus. How do we get to this place where we're debating what's real and what's not real? Because you let them motherfuckers bait you into fake debates. White people don't fucking get it. White people, I know we use, the typical term is gaslighting, right? That's what people have been saying. Don't let them gaslight you. Don't let them gaslight you. Here's what's actually happening. And this is the quintessential difference as far as I'm concerned between black people and white people. The federal government is playing in your motherfucking face. This is for white people. Okay. And when I say white people, I mean white people as a collective, which means I'm not referring to those of you who are white who do get it as individual people. Okay. I'm not referring to white people as individual people who get it. I'm referring to the collective of whiteness, and they don't fucking get it. White people do not know what it is like to have people play in your motherfucking face. And that is exactly what the federal government is doing. They are playing in your face. And the only reason why people play in your face is because you have taught them that they can. Black people are sensitized to understand, to be able to clock it, diagnose it, treat it, when motherfuckers play in our faces because it usually has implications in our actual lives. We literally don't have time or capacity. And we start off calling bullshit on bullshit. And calling motherfuckers liars to their fucking faces. But white people have convinced each other that that's not objective. And that's bullshit. This government is playing in the faces of the people. And there's nothing to me that evidenced that more than Kristi Noem's interviews after they murdered Renee Good. She is tripping over her words. She's nervous. And I saw people saying, Jake Tapper gave her the business. No, the fuck he didn't. And that's white people's version of giving somebody the business. He did not. If he had, she would have broke. And in breaking her, he would have cracked the facade that these motherfuckers have built to play in your fucking face. The federal government has said that its agents can kill people and face no consequence. Now, if that is not problematic and almost certain to result in disaster, I don't know what the fuck is. It is going to result in disaster. Because the more stressed they are, going into cities and ripping people off the street and being followed around by people, being called out, being whistled at, being identified, having the spotlight put on them, listening to people beg and scream for their humanity, scream that I'm an American citizen. Yeah, they might be out there swinging their little micro dicks behind their guns when we see them. But I have no doubt that this is fucking with these people psychologically. And I have no doubt they're not equipped to deal with that level of stress. And I have no doubt that there are many of them that are going to find getting their gun off to be the stress reliever. And that's what I saw on video. White people don't fucking get it. And until they do get it and then do something about it, all of this is going to continue. It's going to continue. The fact that they are even trying to navigate and negotiate this situation as if anything the federal government says or does is valid means that they are participating in the status quo of having their fucking face played in. They don't get it on any front. And they haven't gotten it for a while. They didn't get it the first time he was president because they thought, oh, it's a joke. Let's point and laugh and point and laugh. And they didn't take it seriously because, all white people uphold white supremacy. And when you're sitting there pointing and laughing, he can't do that. You can't do that. Yes, the fuck he can. There's a difference between he's not supposed to do that and he can't do it. The president can do goddamn near any fucking thing. He's not supposed to do the majority of it, but technically he can do it. They are so far behind the curve on how to actually deal with this administration. And because of that, the Greenland situation is out of control. The Iran situation is out of control. The Venezuela situation is out of control. He's going to declare martial law in Minneapolis, and he's going to send in the real armed forces. Because white people are not equipped for what happens when institutional power plays in your fucking face. And we are smart enough to know that we've spent the last 35 years trying to teach them what that means, what it looks like, how you combat it. And they didn't want to listen. They didn't think it could ever get that bad. They didn't want to validate the truth of our existence as Black and brown people and the reality we have lived our whole fucking lives. Oh my God, they're snatching people off the street. No shit. They don't have a warrant for it. Oh my God, really? Did they violate their rights? They're being detained and they still haven't had a court date. Oh God, yeah. Like we don't know what the fuck that's like. But you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to be an ally to truly break these systems down. So now you got to learn through experience, your own experience, not ours, no proxy. You have to experience the full brutality of the American government on your own white person. And once enough of them experience that, hopefully they circle up and figure out what the fuck they're prepared to do about it. But until they get there, and I mean they are so far behind the curve, we all are going to continue to suffer. And everywhere that Donald is forcing himself on, those things are going to continue to become more and more untenable. And then we're going to suffer the consequences for that. Because white people don't fucking get it. And they don't fucking listen. I speak firsthand experience. Firsthand experience of being surrounded by smart politicos, older than me, accomplished more than me, who don't want to listen when people in positional power are playing in our faces because they don't know how. They don't know how. And they have to, in their own internalized white supremacist minds, they have to figure it out for themselves. They don't want to take a risk on doing things differently than they would have been done by the status quo because that makes them feel uncomfortable. But that's how we live. That's how we survive. That's how we prosper. That's how we get justice. It's how we get accountability. It's how we do anything in this country. But they don't want to listen. So go learn your fucking lesson. And then sit down together and figure out who's going to take what part of the group project. I understand that feeling of impending doom. I really do. I really do. And I'm still really angry. I'm still really fucking angry. There are people who I see on the news today who are pontificating on this and the other and breaking down and what a stunning development. No administration in the history of forever. Bitch, we met with you 5 years ago and told you this was going to happen. And you laughed in our fucking face. I'm disgusted. I'm outraged. I'm sad. I'm feeling the anxiety of it all. I am all of the things that you all are as well. I'm fucking furious. I'm furious. I'm disgusted. I'm sickened. I'm all of the things. But we are at a breaking point in this country. And it is only going to get worse the longer white people don't figure it the fuck out. Thank you. I know. I do this for a living, not just on YouTube, so I know. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And this is one of those situations where the process is necessary. And there's a video on social media circulating of a white man who lives not far from where things were happening in Minneapolis last night, and he finally decided to go and see for himself. And he was absolutely furious. Absolutely furious. I thought he really encapsulated the what the fuck is going on energy really, really well. Like, this is happening in an American city. This is being done to us by the federal government. Minneapolis is literally under siege by masked federal agents who, under a normal administration, number one, many of them wouldn't qualify to have a gun. They definitely wouldn't qualify to work in law enforcement. And that's the exact kind of qualifications that are most beneficial to the federal government right now. And what Donald Trump wants more than anything, is for somebody to kill an ICE agent in Minneapolis. The Marines will be on their way within the hour. But you're not gonna come at me with a fucking fake police badge talking about you're under arrest with a gun pointed at me. You don't have arrest authority. And you're not taking me to a second location. Not into a porta potty, not into a vehicle. Those qualify as second location. You're not doing that to me. I assume your intent is bodily harm. Yeah, I saw that. Um, yeah, I saw that. You have to have, more training to be a shift manager at Burger King than you do to become an ICE agent. That's because it's Minneapolis, Minnesota. First of all, it's Minnesota. Of course, it's white people. Of course, it's white people. And it should be white people. But for white people to be shocked that they shot a white woman in the face, white people are way behind the curve. That's why I made yesterday's scripted video. I saw somebody on, bless people's hearts for putting, their best foot forward, but sometimes people just say things and they're wrong. It took me, even though I didn't have my computer set up, I didn't have the means to make a scripted video, right? I thought about Renee Good's murder every single night. What could I say? Where do I want to start? And it was very difficult to come to, it was a difficult process. I could not figure it out for myself of where to start, what to say, how do I want to frame this until I saw somebody on social media say, Renee Good died because she lost her proximity to whiteness. You can't lose your proximity to whiteness as a white person. Race is an external social construct. So if you get up and go to a different location as a white person, you're still going to be treated differently because you're white. So white people never lose their proximity to whiteness. What they do lose is the guarantee of protection. But you don't just lose that, right? There has to have already been a determination that you are a traitor. And therefore, your white life does not have equal value. You are a traitor, which means you are an enemy and you are expendable. And white people need to know that you can't get around that. If you're trying to get around it, you're not performing allyship. You cannot get around the federal government deciding that you are a domestic terrorist because the underlying premise there is because you are a race traitor. They're snatching up white people who are American citizens and offering them money to direct them to black and brown people that they can go get. You don't participate in that, you're a race traitor. They scan your documentation, your ID, whatever it is that you have, and you go on a list immediately as an enemy of the federal government. But anyway, that's when it clicked in for me. Like, you don't lose your proximity to whiteness. You just get cast as a traitor to your race. And therefore your life holds less value. and everything that is done to you beyond that is justified. And there's huge historical precedent for that, which I included in the video. It's not your job to make them feel better about anything. You're not the mammy and pappy. K Sharp I am says, I have white lesbian friends who are not okay right now. What do I say to them? It's not your job to say anything. It's not your job to comfort them or to give them some false sense of comfort. Let me say that. It's not your job to give them a false sense of comfort. Reinforce reality lovingly. Because if one of my white friends I'm thinking really hard about whether or not I have white friends, and I do. A few that I consider friends. And I have colleagues and I have associates and all of that, but like friends, right? Friends. I have a few. And um, if any of them came to me right now in a state of not being okay, I wouldn't try and offer them any words of encouragement or support or comfort. I would listen and validate. 'Cause I can't do anything to carry or mitigate the burden of somebody else's emotional stress. So relieve yourself of thinking that you can. You can't. White people need to sit in their discomfort. They need to become intimate with it. They need to understand it. They need to be able to look at the world around them and pinpoint the connective tissue between the fucked upness and their feelings of unease. And then they need to decide what to do about it. But I'm not letting any white people, and I don't mean this that, it's being done in a malicious way. This is just how the dynamic work. A couple years ago when the nation was going through some stuff, I was surrounded by a lot of white people in my professional life. And it was the first time ever that I announced to a room full of white people who didn't necessarily work for me, but who I was in charge of what they did, told them unequivocally, I will never care about your feelings more than I care about my feelings. And if you can't recalibrate, then you don't belong here. You have to be able to handle and manage your own shit as a white person because I don't have the capacity to do that. And everybody, it was a rare time. I don't know if I will ever be in another professional situation like that again, where I did just so happen to be surrounded by white people who pulled up their big boy and their big girl pants. And I don't care if they went off together and circled up and had freakouts and meltdowns and this, that. I don't give a fuck. All I know is the next day they had recalibrated and they were ready to continue pushing forward with the work. A lot of it is just people feeling, once the facade is broken for people, it's devastating. The realization that comes with understanding why we're in the situation that we're in today is devastating for people, right? Again, it's seeing the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain with no magic and he's just been pulling levers the whole time. There's a lot of mourning that goes into that. There's a lot of guilt and shame that goes into that for white people who are like, "I had no fucking idea, and now I do, and now I feel terrible." That is yours to carry. That's yours to process, yours to work through. I already did this fucking work. I've done it many a cycle, as a matter of fact, over the past at least 35 years. 32. I can't go back to where you are starting out way behind the curve because you've been insulated in your white privilege, even as a queer person. And now you're starting to figure it out. Good for you. Good for you. That's not what you asked for, but that's all. That's all I got to give it to you. To give to you. Yeah, I mean that's why I say I will listen if I have the capacity to, and I will validate. You know, and I've done that plenty of times. I've done that plenty of times. Even when I'm telling people you are not the priority, and you're gonna have to do your own shit. Oh, sure, there are plenty of times we're behind a closed, we're in a closed door situation and they break down crying. I might be the one breaking down crying, and we'll work through that in the moment. But everybody needs to, pull it together, be responsible for yourself, and move forward, and understand that I cannot carry any of that burden for you. I'm a limited shoulder or ear. Right, because then we do get into that dynamic of Black people being the nurturer, the receiver, the holder of other people's pain or anguish. I am not the mammy, and I'm not gonna be your emotional mammy either. And if I relieve your pain, you will no longer be able to identify on the body America where the fracture is. And that's more important than relieving your individual pain, is your ability to go, "Oh, this bone is broke. It hurts. We should do something about that." Yep, you should. I deal with it all the fucking time. I deal with it all the time. Even here on YouTube, I've said it before. I'm not YouTube's mammy. I've said it before. I'm not YouTube's mammy. We've talked about pay for what you value, support for channels based on the kind of content that they put out, and so on and so forth. And I'm largely just resigned and have given up. It just is what it is. And I don't know how long I'll be able to keep going under those circumstances, but I'm here for now. So, but it's too fucking exhausting, and it's a slap in the face. And I'm just certainly over it. Really certainly over it. Because it just reinforces that people expect me as a Black woman to show up for them no matter fucking what. And that somehow that's my obligation. It's not. It's not my obligation. White people are obligated to figure it the fuck out, though. Good. Good, I'm glad, because that's all I got to give you. It is not your, it's not your responsibility. Yeah, I finally had to tell people to stop describing me as strong. I find it really offensive when people describe me as a strong woman or a strong Black woman. People have told me, "You're the strongest person that I know." And I used to just, smile and say thank you, blah, 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 blah. I don't do that anymore. When people say anything akin to, "You're so strong," or "You're the strongest person that I know," my response is, "Really? That's so interesting. I'm the most fragile person that I know. Interesting that our perspectives are so different." And then I just let them have that. I don't explain it because they know what I'm saying about their perception of me as a Black woman. And they're more than you go work on that in your own mind, in your own time. Yeah, that's my response. That's been my response for probably about a decade. "You're so strong." You drop me, Imma break. I'm pretty fucking fragile. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Yeah, for me, I am, systematically allergic to bullshit. I have tried to be a dumb hoe. I've literally tried, okay? I've tried to not care. I've tried to not engage. I've tried to not read the things, watch the things. I have tried, and it made me question the purpose of my existence. So that didn't work. I have tried. It is beyond my ability to control that I am just allergic to it. And when I see it, I call it out. And if I'm in a position to be able to do something about it, then I try and do something about it. But bullshit and systemic injustice and just manipulation and abuse, nah, not in my view sight. No, don't do that around me. Don't let me see you do that shit. I will become a problem for you immediately. I don't care if I like you. I don't care if I've known you. I don't care if you used to be my mentor. I will become a problem for you immediately. Yeah, that's just a projection, right? That's a projection. It's not necessarily a bad one, but like you said, you don't know how to feel about that. Today, my coworker said I was a safe space. I don't know how to feel about that. Right. And so, I'm not telling you to ask that person, but the immediate question is, well, what does that person define as safe, right? Because I consider myself to be a safe space. I'm consistent. Um, I'm extremely compassionate. I know a lot of people don't think so, but you don't know me. So, yeah, I'm extremely compassionate. And, we'll listen to anybody once at least. Even if I'm going in completely skeptical to the conversation. Like, I don't believe a word that's about to come out your fucking mouth, but I'm gonna let you say it and see if you can sell me on it. And if I don't believe you and I don't think you're being, genuine, I'm gonna tell you. But the first thing I'm gonna say is, what does all that mean to you? Or what do you want from this? Or, what does that mean to you? Because, yeah, I'm a safe space for my people, but I also call it like I see it. So that doesn't mean that as a safe space, that I'm never gonna upset you or maybe even hurt your feelings or maybe even cause you to be angry at me. There are times with friends and with family where I will just ask the question, "What do you want from me right now?" My presence, my comfort, my problem solving? Do you want my opinion? Do you not want my opinion? What are the parameters here that you need right now? I've also told people that I love, if you are feeling like you're done in this life, right? And you just don't want to be here do not call me to talk you out of it. You owe this world nothing. You are not required to live through it. Do not call me to change for me to talk you out of it. I'm probably not going to do that. I might cry with you. I might be really sad with you, but I am not going to bullshit you and tell you it does get better. That's bullshit that we cross our fingers and hope that's true. But even that is privilege that comes from living, you know, in a westernized white superpower of a nation. It gets better. It gets better. They're not running around Gaza saying that shit. No, some people just die. Some people are just exterminated. Some children just suffer for no reason. Bad things do happen to good people. The world is not fair. So on and so forth. Those things have a real impact. You're exhausted. You don't want to do it anymore. I understand. So yeah, I'm a safe space, but I'm not a fantasy space. I'm not a fantasy space. I'm a realist. Fortunately or otherwise. Mhm. Ooh, baby. Child, put it in a wedding vow. I don't want someone to tell me I'm strong. I want someone to make me feel like I don't have to be. Amen. I will marry the person who makes me feel that way. Hands down. Where are you at? I will marry the person that makes me feel that way. Aw, thank you, beautiful. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And it's just the BS rhetoric that we've been conditioned to tell ourselves, right? Because yeah, maybe it does get greater. Maybe things do improve in a year. Um, those things aren't a guarantee. And we've been taught in this society to always cast things through rose-colored glasses. The possibility, it's no different than the narrative behind the American dream. It's not a guarantee, it's the possibility of it and the hope that comes along with that possibility that motivates you to keep going, to keep working hard, to keep going to school, to stay alive. But none of those things are a guarantee at the end of the day. Not a one. And that's a hard reality, but it's true. It's true. Oh, baby, I'm definitely not the one for empty promises, things are gonna work out. My first salvo at the beginning of this administration was, "Okay, so you guys do know that America is gonna fall, right? No civilization, no empire lasts forever. We're gonna see America get severely chipped away at throughout this administration, baby." She on one knee. She's already faltered. She's down on one knee. Yeah, I don't know how to do everything will be okay. And I think I learned that, when I learned that children die. And the moment that I realized that nobody told me that. It wasn't in any of the what to expect when you're expecting books. Nobody in my village warned me. Yeah, that you could have children and then they could die. And I think once I experienced that and everything that came along with why he died, also working in civil rights for many years, couple murders that I had to deal with, where I just thought for sure the outcome would be, this, and it wasn't. Those were really hard lessons to learn, that things really don't always work out in the end. We don't always get to understand the why. And sometimes for some people, and by some people, I mean millions of people around the world throughout history, life ends in suffering. And that's terrible. But it's true. And the other reality is excuse me, sorry. The other reality is that most of it is man-made. We do it to ourselves and we do it to each other, and it's all a choice to do it. And that's infuriating, but it's true. It's a choice. All of these things are a choice. Mwah. Yeah, yeah. That's very true. Things improve in a year, it will be because people made it happen. I think that, we really are at a tipping point in this country, and, all I can say is I'm pulling my hair out, It's stressful. It is stressful. It's so stressful. The stakes have never been higher in our lifetimes or in our parents' lifetimes or in our children's lifetimes. The stakes have never been higher. We've never been in a more precarious situation, and we've never been so out of the know because we cannot trust the federal government to shoot straight. Bad analogy. We cannot trust the American government to speak factually about things. So that's terrifying. Truly, truly terrifying. Because, we want to talk about what's happening internationally. At some point in time, somebody's going to set off some missiles. Okay. And it's going to be a fucking problem. And I hope we all don't die. That's really the stage that I'm at. Vladimir Putin said if he goes for Greenland, it's nuclear war. We're in a precarious situation. He wants to drop bombs on Iran this weekend. Israel is freaking out. Saudi Arabia is also freaking out. And they're basically begging him not to do it. But he wants to drop bombs, big bombs, big, 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 big bombs in Iran this weekend. It's a huge problem, guys. I can't come in here screaming and yelling and, oh my God, we're all going to die, because I just don't have the energy for that. But I don't think I've ever thought about the end of the world as much as I have in my entire lifetime than in the past 2 weeks. The end of the world as we know it. Somebody hitting the nuclear option on this planet just becomes exponentially more likely as the days go by, and it's breathtaking to watch. Nobody do anything about it. It's all being caused by one pathetic, pedophile protecting, bitch ass motherfucker who doesn't want people to know what's in the Trumpstein files. It's maddening. It really is maddening. It's maddening because this should not be happening. None of it should be happening. None of it should be happening. We do not have 3 co-equal branches of government. Congress is supposed to have reins on the president. And if he tries to cut those reins, they're supposed to cut him out of a job. But this total systems failure of Congress doing nothing, absolutely fucking nothing, is enraging to me. It is a dereliction of duty and a disregard for the republic that we've just never seen before. And it is stunning. And it is infuriating. I want to throttle a motherfucker. I want to grab somebody up by their fucking suit jacket and shake the shit out of them. I want to call bullshit. But I'm just a black woman, so I won't be doing any of that. Yeah, I won't be doing any of that. But, you know, from now until, I guess, the end, resistance, titties. For those who deserve it. Well, I needed to hammer my points home on the things that matter because, I've said this before. People say all of these things are a distraction from the Epstein files. Two things can be true at the same time. Everything that Donald is doing are individual endeavors that he has always wanted to see come to pass. He didn't just make them up so that he could distract people from the Epstein files. It just so happens to also coincide with what was supposed to be the release of the Epstein files. Which I don't think anybody has fucking forgot about. I said this before. I think the last time we all gathered together is, it's sequencing and its priorities. Yes, I know about the auto worker who was suspended from his job for calling him a pedophile protector and he flipped him off and all that. I don't really give a shit about all of that. The whole nation should be calling him a pedophile protector every day on social media. This is another thing that I was thinking of today is organizing on a mass national scale is not very difficult. You just have themes for every day of the week of what it is that you are going to focus on, regardless of the fuck all bullshit that they're doing, which you are going to focus on as a influencer, as a news person, as a content creator, whatever you call yourself. And you just agree on Monday it's this, Tuesday it's this, Wednesday it's this, and that's it. That's the cycle. And that doesn't mean you have to go every day. But on the days that you go, you know what the thing is that is being hammered nationally. The Epstein files should be trending every day. And since Pam Bondi said that she would personally prosecute anybody who referred to them as the Trumpstein files, they should only be referred to as the Trumpstein files. And he should be called a pedophile protector every single day. They need to be berated. The other thing that we need, they need to cover the spread like it's a campaign. And they're not doing that. They should be on network television with ads. They should be doing a whole bunch of shit that they're not doing. They should be buying time on Fox News. They should be pummeling that motherfucker every fucking day. But again, I'm just a black woman, so what the fuck do I know? I'm so disgusted with the House, with the oversight Dems, because they have over 95,000 Epstein documents. And if the DOJ isn't going to release what they have, then you all should be continuing to drop what the fuck you have. And they're not doing that. I'm just disgusted coming and going both sides of the aisle. These people have no fucking strategy. No fucking strategy. No real leadership, no effective leadership, and no coordination. It's exhausting because it's so fucking unnecessary. Yeah, that's another thing that really fucking pisses me off. He said he would testify. So did she. Both Clintons said they would testify. Publicly. They declined to testify behind closed doors because they said the feds could not be trusted under those circumstances and were clearly just lining them up for prosecution and that they weren't going to participate in that. Testimony needed to be open and live. And the Republicans said no, so the Clintons said fuck off. And that's perfectly reasonable. But the news media just said they refused to testify. They refused to testify behind closed doors so that their testimony could not be weaponized in a future criminal case brought by the Trump DOJ. That's fair. I think that's pretty fair. No, they didn't slither out on spurious reasons. That's bullshit. I love you, but that's bullshit. They didn't slither out. I'm not defending them, okay? I'm not defending anybody who pops up in these files in any capacity, but let's not be dumb here. Again, two things can exist at the same time, right? Bill Clinton can be a piece of shit of a man. And Donald Trump could be trying to weaponize what's in the files against Clinton and his wife in order to cast this situation a very specific way and to avoid incriminating himself. And I'm the first person to say, you don't let people weaponize you against you. And the Clintons are not dumb. They're very smart politicos, and they knew exactly what they were risking by saying, no, we're not going to testify behind closed doors. They knew the next thing the Republicans were going to say were, we're going to have you held in contempt of Congress. Go right the fuck ahead. This shit will be public or it won't be at all. And that's fair. That's fair. I don't think it looks like anything, quite honestly. I don't think it looks like anything. I think that's just for people who don't really care to know the nuance of what's going on. And those people watch Fox News or, News Nation or Newsmax or whatever the fuck it's called. Oh, it looks so bad. Optics? I don't care. And you know who else doesn't care? The Clintons. They don't give a shit. They're not running for president anytime soon. They don't give a fuck about the optics of what the Republicans say about them and the press releases that the Republicans put out and blah, 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 blah. The Clintons put out their own direct statement. And the news media, which is controlled by 3 people, decided to say, they refuse to testify because they're hiding something. Jesus, give me a fucking break. I can't get worked up behind that. And it's not a aha or a gotcha bitch. It's none of those things for me. They've been consistent in their statements from the beginning. Release all the files, make everything public, stop redacting shit, we'll testify publicly. That's consistent for months. And as I said before, Bill Clinton is a good liar. You will not know that motherfucker's lying to you till he tells you he's lying to you. But yeah, they're not just going to lay down and let the administration weaponize them, not only against themselves, but just weaponize them in this situation, period, in order to give Donald more cover. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Oh, no, you're fine. 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 You're not catching the airlock or anything. You're fine. You just sparked it for me. That's all. Remember the times. Remember the times. Oh, so long ago. Yeah, oh, so long ago. All right. Is there anything else that is pressing? Folks want to talk about? Check the news real quick. We've been here 2 hours. I would just like to say that Maria Corina Machado is a bitch ass. In case you're wondering who that is, that's the opposition leader from Venezuela. She went to the White House today and gave Donald Trump her Nobel Peace Prize. That woman is a snake. Just as power hungry as the current regime. People think because she has a pretty smile and she's soft spoken that she's not a fucking evil bitch. The very second that she dedicated it to him when she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, she dedicated it to Donald Trump. You can't be more compromised. The only way you could be more compromised is if you said that you dedicate it to Benjamin Netanyahu. So fuck her and her dumb fucking prize. Okay, anything else? Teyana Taylor said she's still standing with Kanye. I don't like her. I'm just going to put it out there like that. Okay? I know we're not supposed to say that, but I don't like her. I'm not a fan. I've tried to be real nice and I'm rooting for everybody black and all that, but I've already made it clear I hated that fucking white savior movie with her obsessing over Sean Penn's dick. It's nasty. And then going on a fucking tour circuit talking about what resistance is today for black people. Bitch, you don't have a fucking clue. You don't have a fucking clue. We're not sucking the white man's dick. We're not doing that. Fuck that movie. I hate that movie so much. But yeah, I don't care about her. I don't care about her. I don't think there's been a single role that she has taken that I, number one, believed her in, and number two, liked the character itself. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of seeing derogatory depictions of black women, black mothers being touted as, you know, some groundbreaking fucking performance. It's not any of those things. Yeah, they already said they're not gonna do that. They don't reverse. They don't reward. They don't do any of that. It remains in their books and in the history books as her Nobel Peace Prize. And she's just fucking dumb. And I have no respect for her. She's disgusting to me. That woman is disgusting to me because you fucking hoe. You are never going to get anything from Donald Trump. Never. He is never going to give you anything. He's not going to install you as the leader of Venezuela. That's not going to happen. Ever, ever, ever. You will never, ever, 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 ever have political power in Venezuela as granted to you by Donald J. Trump. Never. Never. She is so fucking pathetic. And just obviously fucking dumb because she thinks she can still glaze his tiny tangerine, and that's gonna make a difference. That she actually came over here and gave him the Nobel Peace Prize that was awarded to her. She's so fucking stupid, it's infuriating. Hundreds of thousands of people in Venezuela, and I know this from firsthand professional experience, poured years, risked their lives and their livelihoods to support the opposition in Venezuela. And this is what she does with it. Pathetic. So pathetic. So disgusting. So totally disgusting. And the irony of it, all of this is through a white man's lens. This isn't Black filmmaking. This isn't Black screenplay. This is all through white people's lens. She tells a story that she thinks is funny and that really tested her and stretched her as a professional actress. I saw this earlier today on my timeline. She tells a story of Paul Thomas Anderson just putting his hands through her hair on set to get it to look like what he wanted it to look like. And her response to that was, as a professional actor, you have to focus on the director's vision. Why the fuck are you touching my hair? She had a physical reaction to him touching her hair. But, she's a professional actress now, so you don't act on that. You focus on, what does the director want to get out of me in this next scene? Fuck him. Fuck him and his white savior, white dick movie. I'm saying, this is pretty much how I feel. Just because she's rich doesn't mean she's smart. She's dumb as shit, is honestly how I feel. Mm, yeah, I think her depictions on screen have been extremely problematic, not heroic in any way, shape, or form, and have not cast Black women in a positive light. I said what the fuck I said. I don't take any of it back. Yeah, no. It's a no for me, dog, all the way around. Good to see you there, Goldie. Good to see you there. So yeah, I'm not impressed by that at all. Let's see. I don't really see anything that I really want to dive into. I think I think we're potentially going to see a pretty rough weekend this weekend. Yeah, I think on all fronts, domestic policy, international policy. Hey, welcome to the membership level. Beautiful. I feel like I might have missed this earlier, but thank you, Poison Ivy, for the $2 contribution. Yeah, I think we've got the potential for it to be kind of a stressful weekend. Yeah. Yeah. I was really just trying to, like, focus on the Seahawks or something this weekend, and then Sam Donaldson done fucked his leg up in practice, and I'm just like, "Okay, well, okay, great." Mm. Unfortunately so. Oh, I know. I don't think anybody has even said anything in the chat. At least I didn't see it. The fall off. The fall off has been announced. Rocky album coming out. I have no interest whatsoever, but I know there are some people that are excited and, you know, hey, do your thing. Go Niners though. I'll see you on the other side. We'll see who it worked out for. Your quarterback is fucked up. Our quarterback, got a boo-boo. So we'll see what happens. Um Jermaine is dropping the fall off before Aubrey drops Iceman. Yes, he is. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most excited. Actually, on a scale of 0 to 5. 0 being I don't give a flying fuck, and 5 being I can hardly contain myself. How excited are you or are you not for J. Cole's album, which I believe is gonna be here, like, February 3rd or something? I didn't even watch it or listen to it because I just have no desire to. I have no desire to. I know Skip did a review, so I might listen to it through watching him react to it, but I don't think just on my own, I'm sensitive about my algo. I don't think on my own I'm gonna listen to J. Cole for any reason. Okay, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I see 1, -1, god damn. 0, 3.5. K Sharp, you're always so optimistic about music, and never lose that. Never lose that. 1, 1, 2, 3, 0. 0, 2. Right? Right? Because at least you've got a buddy, you've got the support of a buddy, and Skip is smart. His commentary is always great. So I feel like I could handle it through that, but just in general, I don't care. It's on a scale of 0 to 5. So 0, I don't give a shit. 5, I can't sleep at night, I'm so excited. Lily says 0. Oh, excuse me. I think that's a beautiful thing. I really do. 2.9 does, yes, temper it down a little bit. Temper it down a little bit. Is this not a chair? Says 2. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. 1. Kim Tillman, respectfully, I don't have it in me to care, baby. I do not have it in me to care. I don't think we're getting a GNX Deluxe, so I've let that go. But I pray every night that Beyonce hurries up with Act 3 because I need some angry black rock music. That would be actually really helpful right now in this day and age. That's the only thing I can get excited for is Act 3. I don't care about anybody else releasing any music. Literally no one. I do not care. Except for Kendrick, but I don't think he's gonna do anything. Um, yeah, I don't care about J. Cole. I definitely don't care about Aubrey. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. No, there isn't. Doechii on a scale of 0 to 5 for me with anticipation, Imma put her at this doesn't mean that I'm not gonna wind up liking the album, but in terms of, like, anticipation, right? That's what we're talking about. How much are you looking forward to it? Like, that means you think about it. I don't ever think about Doechii's forthcoming album, but when I do think about it, I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna be good." So Imma put it at, like, a 2. I think about act 3 multiple times a day, every day. So that's at a 5. I want it badly for my mental health. I could care less about Jill Scott. That doesn't do anything for me either. It's not something that gets me excited. You know what I mean? I'm not excited for that. I don't think I've been excited for Jill Scott music in a really long time. Like, a really long time. So, I don't see her rising to the 2026 rotation for me. Ooh, excuse me. Destiny's Child, if Destiny's Child announced an album, I would have anticipation for that. I'd put it somewhere between, a 3 and a 3.5 because I would just be so curious. Like, what is that gonna be? Yeah, I would be really super it would just give me a lot of food for thought, and it would send me down the Wayback Machine into nostalgia. That's never a bad thing. So, yeah. Lily says 5 for Doechii. You ready for it. Ready for it in your veins. She's gonna be on Rocky's album. She gonna be on everybody's album this year. If they can afford her, she gonna feature everywhere. Lauryn Hill just isn't the same for me, so that would not excite me. Rihanna, I would probably in terms of anticipation, I would probably put that in the same realm as Destiny's Child. 3, 3.5. 'Cause just yeah, what's it gonna be? It might etch up the closer it gets, and also depending on, like, what her rollout would be, that could definitely raise my anticipation level up closer to a 5. But just on, like, a date of release, like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm definitely gonna listen to it," but I'm not, like, thinking about it in the way that I would think about Beyoncé or Kendrick. Kiki. Excitement for Bruno Mars' album, 0. N n Didn't turn me on in the slightest bit. I said, "Well, he didn't even change his shtick." He hasn't even changed his shtick since he did that thing with what's his name? The little duo group. I'm like, "Okay, so he's still in that aesthetic. Cool, cool." I I just don't think you have anything of real substance to offer me right now, boo boo. 0, 0, 0 excitement for Bruno Mars. 0. Silk Sonic, yeah, that's what it was called. This honest to God, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, but when I heard Bruno Mars has announced a new album, the first thing I thought was, well, either he's paid it off or he's not paying it off fast enough, and they told him, "Baby, you're gonna have to hit the hostro. You're gonna have to hit the hostro outside the casino." It's so sad. I'm so sorry that that is the first thing that I thought, 'cause everybody know that man on a leash. Everybody knows Bruno Mars is on a leash. He can't just do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I was like, either he paid it off or he's not paying it off fast enough. And they said, baby, walk the block a couple times. Yeah, make us some money. Yeah, that would be interesting. Oh, he definitely looks older. That's another thing that's really crazy too. It's like, wow, bro. Okay. You're not that fresh-faced kid anymore. Yeah, you're not that fresh-faced kid anymore. So, I guess he's gonna try and make it while he can make it. So, we'll see. They gonna work that tiny man for every dollar and cent. Every single one. Every single one. Oh, that's because they broke. Tony, New Edition, Boys to Men, B2K. I have no desire to see any of those people in concert ever. First of all, I'm gonna have to go to the casino for at least 3, and I'm not doing it. We covered that in the A block. I'm not going to the casino for your little show. I'm not doing that. No, I don't want any parts of a casino. Nah, I don't. Oh, gross. San Diego SeaWorld has been leaning into old R&B. They're all playing there. Gross. Gross. I do what I can. I do what I can. Oh, yeah, they're a good time. And Raphael Sadiq has always had a really good show. Tony has always had a decent stage performance. Raphael is fucking the GOAT as far as I'm concerned. But again, none of them make me go like, ah, yeah, I'm exhausted, y'all. I think I'm just fucking exhausted. And I'm super conserving my energy for, a few bits here and there. And then everything else, I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. This is what I'm saying right here. There shouldn't even be a fucking orca tank. It's disgusting. You couldn't pay me money to perform at SeaWorld. No fucking way. Unless that was my cover for the clandestine operation. If that's not the cover for the clandestine operation, baby, I can't be bothered to get out of bed for that. No. SeaWorld is behind the entertainment at SeaWorld. Zoos and special attraction places, they're well versed in, doing that type shit. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Hypothetically speaking, if there were a clandestine operation at SeaWorld, hypothetically. Also not interested. Oh, sorry. Also not interested, but good for her. Good for her. I know that's right. Solidarity like a motherfucker. What they need to do is just close the fuck down and go away. Huh? Could they do that? Could they try that? Could they just fucking go away forever? Jesus, they're so awful. So awful. Yeah, it does. It be limping along. Really? He finally kicked the bucket, huh? Okay. Well, may he have the afterlife he deserves. Have the afterlife he deserves. Mm, mm, mm. Well, one down, several more to go. Black people who ignore him. Yeah, black people who ignore him. In my version of heaven, it's not segregated, but we can't see or hear or interact with the ghosts or spirits of white people, but they can see us and everything that we do, and they have no power over any of it. They just have to sit there, watch us be happy in heaven. Yeah, that's their purgatory. I just made that up, but it was funny in my head. Seems pretty fucking peaceful to me. All right. I love it. Motion passes. Gavel. Ew, that's never going to work. He died. Divorced, orphaned, and childless. So who knows what happens with that comic copyright? Well, he can't take it with him now, can he? No, he can't. All right, y'all. I'm going to get going. It was good to see you, talk with you, hang out with you for a little bit. Like I said, I have missed you all very, very much. This last week has been hell. It's been hell. No way to sugarcoat it. But we are still here, and I'm grateful for that. Very much so. Very, very much so. I hope to see you again this week. It's not like there's any shortage of things to talk about, so we'll just see how I do. I started today to just jump up and try and get a bunch of stuff done, like just within the four walls here. And I think within an hour, I was like, you know what? I need to actually spend a day doing as much of nothing as possible and just let my, let my energy reserves start to just get a little bit back. Um, so I'm going to try to balance getting things done, but also just kind of resting and recuperating. I think one of the things that has been really difficult for me this past week is that I actually do have a condition. Um, that is technically disabling. And I really felt that this past week. I really had to deal with that. I was really stopped by that at a certain point. And I've never experienced that before. So that that was really difficult. It's still difficult. Um, so I'm still recovering from just the everything. And I, did have some help. Appreciate the folks who either I paid or who loved me enough, to come through and help get it done. But yeah, this last week has been hell. It's been exhausting. It's been confronting and sobering. But I have still made sure to try and inject some balance onto my side of the scale at the end of every day. And I hope that you can find the ability to do that too. It might get wiped off the very next morning, might get wiped off 5 minutes later, but grant yourself that 5 minutes, whatever it is, gaming, watching pet videos, watching your guilty pleasure show or movie, eating something delectable or cheap, but good. I'm realizing more and more that we have to hold on to those things. Otherwise, there's no point in going through hell. We could just resign and surrender and be done. So we have to hold on to those moments, those things, those habits, practices, rituals, guilty pleasures, whatever. Yeah, or there's no point. So do that for yourself and tell somebody that you love them because that's important too. Tell somebody that you love them. And I'll see you soon. Peace.